so we have this comp right now, and so I ended some miners this week um, on both chains, and I needed to decide what I was going to do with them, and so I went Quattro Cinco with everything. I just put it all back in Quattro Cinco. You say that's crazy. Yeah, maybe it is. I don't know. I mean, it's not my entire bag, but that's what I did. And so I went Quattro Cinco. What'd I get back? I got 10% of my value on both chains back, right? 10% of my value in Comm tokens. And so looking at the Comm and how that's marketing for HEX, meaning, hey, new people, why wouldn't you tell a new person, hey man, stake for Quattro Cinco, you get 10% back. You go do whatever you want to do with that. You can buy something else with it, swap it for HEX, for more HEX instantly. That's my preference, right? Um, well, Comm's tied to all these things too. So now I have this miner that's out there for Quattro Cinco. Comm only needs to do 9x. I have all my value back, all of my value back, and Comm's already done, hundreds of X's, right? So I'm looking at it as saying, well, you know what, that's what I'll do. I'll support the Comm situation, and I went and did my Quattro Cinco. I brought my Comm out. I staked my Comm for 5% APY, and so now if we see a 10x, it'll be like I got a free appreciating, Comm stake that's worth the same value what I started with by putting out Quattro Cinco. So it's a very interesting token. It's a reward token, and it's meant to be an incentive for people to come in and stake long, maintain their ladders, that type of thing within the HEX ecosystem. And I think you're missing out on two angles if you're not claiming your Comm. One, the potential value of the fact that you have the Comm. Two is the ability to support the HEX ecosystem by staking your Comm and making it even more rare. And I'll do a plug for tomorrow. By the way, tomorrow Access Live is hosting a big detailed deep dive into this whole subject. So
Yeah.
you guys can tune in.
I think the most interesting thing when I first came across Comm was you can only stake what you mint, not what you buy off the market. Is that correct?
That is correct. You
That is
have
a
to
pretty
you have
interesting
to
game
decide
theory.
at that point. Yeah, yeah, and the people who get rewarded the most with Comm are the Quattro Cinco miners, right? Because they're doing the most T shares, and it's tied to T shares. And so those people get the highest rate of the mining. And then when you get that start bonus, it's like boom, 10% back in value right then.
And you don't have to do 5555. It's any hex stake you can
No,
make Comm from.
well, any hex stake over 180 days
Oh,
um,
okay.
for the start bonus, and then the end bonuses start for 1 year and above. But that's really, again, it's really meant to provide incentive to miners to continue to mine and to keep their ladder up, right? By giving them more Comm to support that. And we have a bunch of quad whales, which mean people who have a quadrillion of Comm or more, or multiple quads. I call them quad whales. I coined that one myself. They get these
There's just
quad
so
whales.
many numbers.
Yeah, they're out there. They're out there running around accumulating this stuff because people are dumping it on the market. But it's very hard to get new Comm because the only way it can get done is somebody has to stake HEX to start with, and otherwise there is no Comm. So it's quite an adventure. And you guys tune in tomorrow if you're really interested in Comm to get all the right details. I'll be on that stream with them as well. But there's a possibility this thing's sitting at 10% now. There's a possibility it goes to 20%, 30%, 50% of a hex. And it really can become a self-perpetuating thing. So you have to look and you have to individually take in inventory. You come up with you're going to be doing, and not for building your initial ladder because that might have different things. You have a miner that's gonna end, and you got to decide what you're gonna do. Godfathers, I like that one, Chad.
Yeah.
You have to decide what you're gonna do. Well, if I tell you go out Quattro Cinco, because I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go out Quattro Cinco. That's 15 years, right? But if I say, well, if you go out Quattro Cinco, you're going to get 20% back. Is that enough for you to say, well, maybe I'll go Quattro Cinco? And play, and take my Comm, support the community by staking it, because you're creating this situation where new people coming in can do something, and get their Comm and do something with it, get more hex. You can get more hex with it yourself. Is the bonus at 10% something that motivates you? 20%? 50%? How about 70%? Is that what motivates you? I don't know. So I think that it's a huge opportunity for them, for people to support Hex with it's like a referral incentive system. It is a referral incentive system for Hex.